Just mute me?
Because you're echoing.
No, you're echoing.
How's that? Is that better?
Don't be scared. I just want to play a game with you.
The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. The ceiling is white, but the shadows are black. A ghost in my heart says she'll never come back. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by the echo of your last goodbye. The house is haunted by memories that refuse to die. I can't get away from a vision that brings intimate glimpses of intimate things. A voice in my heart like a tart singer sings. I wonder who's kissing her now. The house is haunted by the echo of your favorite song. The place is cluttered up with roses that have lived too long, much too long. But the shadows are black, so close to my heart.
Good evening and welcome to the Haunt Hour with your host Dan Doble Susie Fleesick, and Troy Crivelone. Join us tonight as we talk about all things haunting and Halloween during the Haunt Hour.
Welcome to another fantastic Haunt Hour. How is everybody doing this evening?
Wonderful.
I'm busy watching YouTube videos
Of Steve?
of Steve. How can you not? I love these.
You know, it's crazy. You know, our guest tonight is so old.
He's older than me.
How old do you, sir?
I mean,
wait a minute, Dan, are you wearing your cardigan sweater to
No, I wanted to rep here. I want to rep my new shirt, my Haunted Insider shirt.
Cute.
It says "Showcase, Share, Inspire." Haunted Insider.
Cute.
This is one of the ones that are my good buddy. There we go. My good buddy Kyle Krieger created. So,
because I was going to say, because I got one of those after I got my car washed. Like,
really?
I paid for
Of
car
all the
wash,
people, I thought that you would have already owned like two of these because
got
you
a Haunted Insider shirt and a black Christmas tree to hang on the air freshener. So it was a 2-for-1 deal.
Black ice.
Yeah.
You sporting the black ice?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Came free with my Haunted Insider shirt.
Yeah, I got this when I opened a checking account. So, so what's up, guys? How's the week been?
I tried to mow my lawn a little bit ago before the show, and it started raining on me, and then that sucked.
Again, it's Portland.
It's Oregon.
No.
You tell me it never rains up there, but I swear to God, I was there. I was there for 4 days. And all 4
And
days.
it rained every single day,
And
right?
Troy said it's never like that.
It's
never
never,
like that.
well,
No.
we were in Seattle for one of those days, and it always rains there.
And it rained there too.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wait till you come to Pittsburgh. We've already had this discussion. It rains all the time.
Does it rain or is it just dingy? It's just like overcast garbage.
Yeah, that's gross.
Overcast garbage.
Just
Exactly.
That's
all
why
the
I'm
time.
moving to Texas.
All day long.
That's why I'm
I
moving.
wonder why I still live here. I really, honestly,
You should wonder.
Because
But
you
now
have
you-
like
now-
you
now
have
you
like
can't
6
leave.
or 7 businesses. that
Right.
you
You're
really
stuck there.
can't leave.
That's
You're
literally
cemented.
it. It's the only thing I have. But you'd think at this point I would have saved for a home in Florida that I could fly to and like have a vacation home. But have I?
No.
No, because you
I
sunk
will
all your
tell you
money into
no.
a trailer with coffee
And no AC.
Yeah.
and no AC.
Warm
I have
weather's
AC.
coming.
I have AC now. We got
Oh,
it.
really?
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Look at that. I said it and it happened.
Is it
I
just Micah standing at the doorway?
It might be. It might be.
With an oscillating fan.
I'll let-
It's really big, right?
I'll let
No,
Micah
he's
answer
the
that.
oscillator. He
Yeah.
just moves it back and forth.
Yeah, he does. He does. But no,
He
it's
stands in front of a bowl of ice and goes,
I hope he's watching. Like, are you watching? He's not here.
I don't want to give him ideas.
He's not
That's
here.
awesome.
He's up. Actually, he's up by you, Dan. He's visiting
Is
his
he in
parents.
Wisconsin?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
What's he doing up here? Tell me he's not doing
He's
some haunted
visiting
house.
his parents. I don't know,
Okay, good.
but I
Okay,
just
good.
get some odd texts from him throughout the day.
That's what happens when you go to. That's what happens when you go to Wisconsin.
That's
Well,
exactly what happened.
you-
Sick and
You put beer in your cereal in Wisconsin,
right,
so you never know what's going to happen.
beer and
Maybe he
cheese.
is. I don't know. But we don't get him back until like June. It's not our
Really?
our
Oh.
turn yet. We don't have custody yet until June of the Micah. So
Just so you know, Micah, we all love you. So,
yeah,
so go back to Pennsylvania. As much as I want
We
to
need
go to
you.
Wisconsin,
we need you here.
well, I'm
But
going to have to text him now because if he's in Wisconsin, I've got to say hi.
yes,
Usually he'll randomly show up at my place of employment with some weird shit.
There you
Usually
go.
last time him and a friend of his showed up at my work. Gosh, I don't remember what it was for, but it was something super obscure. He's like,
that
"Hey,
would be
man."
hilarious if
like,
he just showed up.
Hey, Micah, what are you doing here?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm gonna
it's
tell
just
him
weird.
too,
Yeah,
I'm gonna send him a message.
for sure.
You should.
Anyway, so how are things going? Do we have any haunt news this week?
Good. I do. I have
I
a
love haunt news.
itsy bitsy spider news. It's tiny.
It's not that Micah's in Wisconsin right now, and any haunter that needs
It's not
help.
even about Micah. Micah wasn't even here for this. So
Okay.
listen, a couple weeks ago, we had the Haunted Housewives on the show.
Yes.
It was a great interview. And one of the housewives, Kathleen, reached out to me to see if I could make a little special birthday greeting for the other housewife, Jen, which that's their real names. That's not their stage names because they're Tish and Lily. And I was like, sure. And I think she just was like, yeah, post something on her wall, like happy birthday. It was a milestone birthday, like from the haunt, because she's like, I'm reaching out to all her favorite haunts to see if they'll do it. And I was like, of course I'm going to do it. And I came up with this great idea that Margaret, who is our villain, would record a video for her because why wouldn't Margaret have a means to do that? She's like from 1947, so of course she can record a video. And so I called my makeup artist and I'm like, what are you doing this weekend? And she's like, I'm there. I'll be there tonight. She comes down. She airbrushes my daughter. We go to get Froyo before the airbrushing, and because we would have freaked everybody out, and then did some photos, and then we did a TikTok that I posted on my page that I'm sure Troy's looking for now. And
I didn't know you did a TikTok.
I'm not the TikToker. I take no credit at all except for the idea.
Troy, you're looking at TikTok up, right? All right, good. Okay, go on.
One take. We did this TikTok. It was recorded in our escape room, actually, because it was just easier to get to than the haunt at that point. But this is Margaret's birthday greeting to Jen, aka Lily of the Haunted Housewives. Good. You can play it.
He's working on it.
He is.
He's got it. Here it is.
There it is.
Dude, pull the TikTok up too.
Yeah, and
come on, get the sound up here, Troy.
I don't think
can he? Come on, Troy. You're killing me. Oh my God. Tell me that doesn't have like 1 million shares already.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Fuck.
So
we're gonna have to change that.
It was so fun to do.
Super generic. It's super generic.
Exactly. I told her to say Jen, and she just didn't. And it was one take, and it was perfect. So I was like, you know what? It's actually good that you didn't say Jen because this could be for anybody. Yep. That cupcake is a chocolate muffin that Micah likes from the grocery store in my town. Him and John buy a 4-pack and they eat them, and they left one. It was a week-old cupcake. I ran out to the trailer and I got whipped cream and sprinkles, and we didn't have a birthday candle. So we had this big taper candle from the haunt that obviously we don't ever light. And we carved it down with a putty knife because that's all we had. And we whittled it down to look like a birthday candle. It was a fun night. Good times. Awesome. And we now have a TikTok. Which,
I was gonna say, you have one video.
Yeah. Well, guess what? That's still a TikTok.
Yeah, that is.
And I will not be the one actually.
One more than you had yesterday.
Recording. Yeah. Well.
Yeah. I mean, you're on. You're
on there. We're there.
You're on your way, or we can watch.
You know what? Get off of yours.
Why the long face?
Watch me be licked and loved on by a horse.
I saw that today at my lunch hour, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" I was waiting for the long face comment. Never came out.
Troy, don't ever say licked and loved on again.
Well, because I don't know why it's stalling because we have 18 videos going on at the same time. But
don't ever say that again.
I'm scarred for life. Everybody else is too, I'm sure.
Here comes.
This isn't OnlyFans. This isn't OnlyFans. We don't want to see licked and loved.
Moving on. Troy, what do you? What do you got for us, Troy? You got any fun news?
I do. All that I really have is I think it's in 2 weeks now. I think what's his name? Kevin, that weirdo guy with the mullet. He had on a couple of weeks ago. He mentioned about the home haunter seminars, and they weren't up yet. They are up now for the Midwest Haunters Convention that you can take. These are home haunter classes put on by home haunters and for home haunters. And you can get a pass with that is $160
$160.
And that
You
and
get a
you can take,
blowjob with that?
well, now that's actually it makes it $18 per seminar. If you got them all by themselves, it'd be
Okay.
$270. So
Oh my God.
that's
So
not
it's such
bad.
a savings.
Right. It is a savings, but as we all know, the teachers at Transworld, MHC, Texas all get paid.
All right. So I got a question for you.
Yeah.
All these seminars that are put on, is this information that we're not going to find on the internet from these same home haunters, or are these home haunters is it just the reason you're paying money is because all these home hunters that are putting on these seminars are in one location?
Yeah,
I think it's a little of both. I mean, yeah, you could obviously go, call up Jim Slanker, Chicago Haunt Builders, and ask him how to, to show you some stuff for pneumatics. If you don't live anywhere near him, it's going to be a little hard,
Sure.
And if you're there at the class, you get the handout or something, you can obviously take pictures of the slides as they come by and things like that. I think it's the way that I take a lot of these classes, because I don't normally go to a lot of classes, is that if anything, it gives you a jumping off point. It may not be, because how much can you really learn in an hour that you can immediately take home and create it without any other help or, looking up something else. So if anything, it's a jumping off point, like for the corpseification by Michael Burnett.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be able to go home from this class and immediately corpse a skeleton the exact same way. You're going to have to remember it. You're going to have to go through it, but it's these are good little parts for somebody to say, hey, I actually was thinking about changing my LEDs.
This is cool. This is the guy that I need to talk to later on.
Right.
You made a connection personally, face to face or face to faces.
I've never done anything with PVC pipe, before. I see everybody else doing it and I can't follow along some of the videos, but this guy's going to kind of show me right in front of me step by step. And then
if I have questions, I can raise my hand.
Right. And then, as with all of us home hunters and pretty much every teacher that's ever taught at any of these places, you now have a contact that you can talk to later. And we all love talking about what we teach.
It's true. It's true.
So, but it's, that, that's the way I take it. Is that these are just good things for you to, if you were stuck at your haunt and you're like, I want to do something new, you can look at one of these classes and say, hey, this is, or you're brand new to home haunting,
Yeah. And you want to learn.
So
and you want to meet people. I mean, we all know that the most of this stuff is networking anyway. It's getting in there and getting in front of people that you like-minded people, whether you learn something from the person that's actually talking or the people that are sitting right next to you. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've gone to these events and these shows and I'm sitting in the crowd and next thing you know, I'm making friends with the guy, that's right next to me. And we're talking, and now next thing you know, I've got a good friend in the haunt industry because I met him sitting right next to me in a seminar who's helped me out.
Yep. That's the first people I actually met was like seminar people at our first Transworld.
Yep. Same here.
And that's, and that's kind of where Texas comes in at a little different. And they kind of have mixed a lot of advanced and intro stuff and very unique stuff. You've got your.
What do you mean by unique?
Well, just that it's more. You're not going to find some of these classes at the different, shows, and that was kind of the pitch that even I was given by the people, before I pitched my class, was that I had to pitch my idea, and it can't be how to use masks in your home haunt.
How to be scary in a haunted house.
Where do I point my light? These seem to be a little more geared towards specific.
What are their price? What's their pricing?
These are all included in your thing.
So I could say they're free with admission.
Let's see. I believe that it is. I think you go to registration. So your VIP pass is $100 or $120, and that includes. Let's see what that includes.
Every
So if you click the VIP, you get the convention floor, all the classes. You must register for the individual classes. I don't know how that works yet. I need to ask them. And you get the costume ball, the meet and greet, t-shirt, axe throwing, escape room, and some cool swag. And then the t-shirt too. But it does not include the haunt tour, the make and take, or any the make and take workshop type things. So for the budget minding, Texas is the way to go. If you're really worried about money this year, you do get a little more bang for your buck on that way. But but both of these shows are going to have a lot of people there. So it's more of I think this year it's very much what's in your budget, not so much where you have to go. Like a lot of people say, oh, God, you have to go to MHC, you have to go to Transworld. I think now it's more of what will my inflation budget allow me to go do? Which airline tickets are cheaper? Where can I drive? Everybody's about saving money this year. So I think it's more that than
yeah. I procrastinated because I wasn't sure if I was going to buy plane tickets to Florida at the end of June for my daughter's nationals volleyball team.
Oh, right.
And I procrastinated, and now flights are $700 to go to Orlando.
Yep.
700 fucking a person.
Did you buy them?
Fuck no, I'm driving.
What are you gonna do? You're driving.
I'll drive. There's no way I'm gonna pay $700 for unless something pops up. That's fucking outrageous.
You'll pay $700 in gas total,
right?
Not for 3 people or 2 people to go. I mean,
I'll rent a car for $38 a day.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, definitely rent a car. Don't put that kind of miles on your own vehicle.
Right.
That's what we did when we went to on our last trip. We just.
So you're saying I shouldn't drive my 35-foot motorhome to Texas?
Oh, that?
No, you totally should for that.
I'm doing it.
That totally makes sense.
And I'm going to be videotaping it too while we do it.
Oh, I can't wait. Is it going to be an official vlog?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Are they going to be daily? Like, am I going to get them the same day, or is it going to be?
No, probably not. I'm going to be so busy.
The normal Troy Crivolone Scare Hollow where we get them
Oh my God.
We're going to be so busy. As soon as we land, we've got to start doing stuff. I mean, because we have the Home Hunter Awards on Friday. I've got a class on Saturday.
I expect 2 or 3 TikToks a day from you.
Oh, TikToks. Yes. Oh, those will come up hardcore. Yes.
I'm going to hold you accountable, and then we're going to reconvene on this.
Yeah. I'm going to TikTok right next to Steve all day.
Speaking of Steve's our next guest.
Steve, look at my awesome segue skills.
That was amazing. Well done.
Wow.
Hold on. Now, why can't I get him in here?
I don't know.
There he is. Hey,
there he
is. Steve. We're all showing our signs of age. All the old millennials are like,
not
what the hell
me.
are they doing?
I'm too old for that. I don't know what you're talking about.
By the way, I'm going to find that JCPenney's open video because I watched that episode again today. and I'm like, Susie still doesn't get it. I'm going to find it and I'm going to play it. It's going to be awesome.
More time to
Welcome,
make the donut.
Steve. How is Steve doing tonight?
More time to make the donuts. Yes.
I'm good.
Steve, I was thinking about this after we were talking before we started the show. How many years have we known each other, or how many years has Steve's Haunted Yard been around? I feel like I did the math on my fingers and I ran out of fingers.
Yeah. Well, my YouTube channel, my first video was in 2007 on YouTube.
You were one of the originators of the YouTube videos. I remember going, wow, I've got to beat Steve in some videos. Steve's got everything. And then there was that one year when Steve had like a video every fucking day. It was like 18 million props that he built in one season. And then we never saw Steve for like 3 years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what is this?
This is 2007.
Was it?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so.
I went way back. I had to filter your YouTube channel to go oldest first, and it my computer ran out of RAM. It was like, whoa.
And this was actually not the first. I did a yard hunt probably 3 years before this, I believe. This was like my 3rd or 4th year, something like that.
This is pre-phones. Pre-cellular phones.
By the way, I must know what this Frankenstein
is. I was just going to ask you, what is that? Because I think we have that.
Yeah.
It's a video projection. Honestly, I would even have to go look and see if I even still have it.
But is the girl? But
does it
that's a real person, right?
Yeah. It's a real person.
Like touching the screen and making the little. Because she touches the screen and it makes the electric. Oh, that's in the video. Okay, my bad.
Yeah, that's a kid touching lightning bolt on the neck that was over there. That's like a kid going, "Look at this! It's shocking me," or whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I guess we
The
need
big
to
yards are
start.
so cheesy.
We need to
We
start.
need to start from the beginning because all
Yeah.
these there might not be people that know who Steve from
Right.
Steve's Haunted Yard is. So Steve, give us a little bit of background of where you originated from and where you're at now.
Oh man. Wow, that could take a long time, but
That's okay. We got all night in an hour.
I guess we'll talk about what got me into it, I guess originally.
Yeah.
So when I was a kid, my Aunt Jeanette, she was the coolest aunt ever. She did like a party, Halloween party at her house. And her house was always kind of like the house where all the family wanted to hang out. Like it's where Christmas was, Thanksgiving. Like it was like the house.
What year was this,
And
Steve?
so, oh my God, I was. I mean, I don't know. I was a kid. Like I was before. This is pre-haunt. So I mean,
So we
I
talking
got pictures of me.
we talking
Like I've got
80s?
pictures of me. Oh yeah, oh
Okay.
yeah. I've got
All right.
pictures of me. I was like a witch one year. I'm like, Mom, you met you. I was a witch.
Yes.
Like really? Like I have pictures of myself in like a wig and a big pointy hat and dress. Um. Anyway, and I just remember that being the funnest time. Like so, once I grew up, I'd never really thought a whole lot about it again. And then, I had some kids and got my own house, and I'm like, man, you know what? I should do some Halloween stuff. And I literally made a couple of wooden tombstones, like super cheesy, like the pressed plywood, super cheap. Carved them out, and they said like, "I'll be back," and I told you I was sick, and rip, and because nothing was even online back then, right? Like there was,
It's
I'm pretty
pre-internet.
sure there was internet, but it was pretty close to pre-internet.
Yep.
So I put those in the yard. I even had a blow up inflatable Shrek Dracula. Like you could never find that now. It's probably worth like $100,000 if I still had it.
Probably.
Probably
We had
so.
a
But
blow up inflatable Frankenstein. My
but
parents
it's a
did.
Frankenstein. This was a Shrek as Dracula. It
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
where did they even get that? Anyway,
Yeah. Ours was like
so-
from like this early 80s. Like I don't know where
Yeah.
that thing came from.
oh man, so I put all this in the yard, and I was like, man, I don't, maybe some people will show up. I don't even remember if there was any really trick or treaters, and I didn't get a lot, 10, 20 maybe. And then the next year, I was like, you know what? Now I got to do something in the garage. So I put the same stuff out. I just put black plastic and just shredded it, right? So it's just like a shredded like thing you go through. And I had like 2 6-foot tables in there, put tablecloths on them, had like Jello and like a bowl of like dried beans and the kids. And I put boxes over them, so you had to put your hands inside and go like, "Ooh, it's brains" or whatever, like super cheesy. Like I feel like I saw that stuff online and started doing that, and then it just grew. Like I think shortly after that, I found the Davis graveyard.
Mhm.
When the internet was a little more like people started posting some stuff, and I'm
Yep.
like, holy crap! And that's back when Monster List was still out, and all the like, old school like the Garage of Evil. I was like,
Oh, Garage
that
of
was like,
Evil.
that,
Garage.
dude, that was like Steve was like the most awesome dude ever
Yes.
on Garage of Evil, and
Yep.
I remember, when I discovered conventions, I'm like, oh my god, there's like other people that do what I do. Like it blew my mind, right? And it just opened up this whole world, and I'm like, I can't believe where has this been all my life, right? So, and then I discovered when I moved to Austin. At that time, I was like in East Texas, and then when I ended up getting transferred to the military to Austin, um, I discovered my first make and take group. Like I was like, what? It was like TXFX was the name of it, Texas FX, and I messaged them. I'm like, okay, you guys like build stuff, and they're like, yeah, we actually meet up once a month and we build Halloween stuff. And I'm like, mind blown. Like, and that was in like, oh my God, nine, oh, Jesus,
It's got to be early mid 2000s.
2005,
Yeah.
2005, I believe. Um, and then I started doing, yeah, there we go. And then, yeah, as a matter of fact, this is funny. This garage right here, I was actually in this garage, which is not my house, in this picture or this video. I was in this garage on Sunday. This is Carlin's house, a buddy I haven't seen in years. He actually just closed his haunt. He did a 501c charity haunt
Okay.
for the food pantry. All his kids were in high school, so they used to all help, and they would have the drama club help. Anyway, they all just graduated. They're all going to college, and he said, "I'm done. Come get whatever you want. You can have
Of
anything you want."
course.
Well, Ashley went because he's like, "Dude, you've always helped me out. You've always helped me build stuff. You've always given me your stuff that you like, don't have room for. You've always given me advice. You've always told me how to do things and helped me out in any way you want. So you're the first person I'm called, and so you get first dibs on anything you want, and I'm selling the rest." And I didn't really get a whole lot. I mean, it's part of the problem is I don't have room for stuff. Um, so,
Mhm.
which is kind of a segue to, I don't know if people have started noticing I have like Steve's haunted props. I've started kind of, changing my logo to the Steve's haunted prop stuff.
Your marketing.
Over the years, I haven't built stuff like, and so I get a lot of comments all the time where my YouTube channel really is me going to like car shows and looking for creepy cars or going to
Mhm.
conventions or trying to find any Halloweeny thing to video, like
Yep.
shopping and garage selling. Like I don't do a lot of prop building anymore, but that's what I love to do. And I don't do it because I literally don't have anywhere to put it. So, um, so my solution, I talked with my wife and she's like, "That's a great idea." I'm like, "What? You love that? Okay, cool. So how about I still build things and I sell them and I get rid of them?" So now my obsession with loving to build things and share because I'm gonna YouTube this stuff, right? So I'm gonna sell the things, but I still want to do videos on show people how to make those things. Like, um, cool, you can make it yourself, but if you don't want to, cool, buy one of mine. Like, if you want to. And so that's my plan, is to start building stuff and selling it. I have a small Etsy store now, which has a couple of things on it. I'm going to start off with 2 or 3 different props, nothing crazy.
Mhm.
I'm going to vend for the first year at Texas Hunters Convention, which is super exciting and nerve wracking and nervous at the same time, right? Because the booth was like $600. And I'm thinking, what if I make like $6? Um, which could totally happen. Um, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm excited about it. I actually have another buddy of mine. I have a lot of people that reach out to ask me to build stuff, and over the years, people have
Mhm.
asked me to build stuff over and over and over. And I'm just like, hey, I don't have time. So I actually had someone reach out and they're like, hey, can I build your booth for you? And I'm like, okay. So he's actually going to build my entire facade. I'm going to have like a giant actual facade of a house
That's
in my booth
awesome.
and make it a haunted house. And the props that I'm going to be selling are going to be actually kind of in the scene of the home. So it's like they'll be in their element, which I think is going to be really fun.
That's
Um,
awesome.
so it's funny. I paid all this money for this booth, and the whole booth is almost going to be taken up by this backdrop, which is not even for sale. Um, anyway, and for him, he's like, hey, if people go, hey, wow, that's amazing, that scenery in the back, who made that? And I could tell him, it's, his company that's gonna start doing some stuff too. He's actually gonna open a pro hunt, or try to open a pro hunt this year, possibly next year. Really, is when he's gonna actually open it up. I don't know if he'll have time this year, but I'm gonna help him, and he wants to commission some stuff for me to build. And I don't know. It's just how I'm gonna maybe move into it. Kind of at some point, I'm gonna retire from the military, and then I could like, if I
Sneak
get
into
excited
that.
now, right, I could slide right in
For,
to
for those that don't know who Steve is, Steve has been a guy that has been making haunted house props for his yard for many years, and since 2007. So we're talking like 15 years, somewhere around there. And at one point, he was one of those guys that everybody followed because
Mhm.
he always had a video on something.
Yep.
And he's very entertaining to watch, and he's very entertaining to talk to, and he's always got fun props. So there was a time when it went from, Steve's making a prop, or check out this, that Steve's doing. And then there was a time when Steve, I don't know if you made it a goal of yours or if we just made it a goal and you just kept going, but you made like, I don't know how many props before one season. It was like, we would come on to Shadow of Palms, and next thing Steve's making something new again. He's like, oh, I finished this one, and I got this one, and I finished this one, and I got this one. It was like you wouldn't stop. You were like a machine. So I can only imagine what your basement, garage, shed, backyard, attic, what it all looks like.
Yeah.
And
this dates me right here because that's a cassette player.
I love this.
It's all 110 too.
If you don't know, I mean,
is that a drill?
This is where everything started from. Like, if you make a monster in a box now, you're going on and like doing pneumatics and you're doing electronic with boo boards and stuff.
Yeah.
No, it's a cassette deck, a 110 light, and a drill.
Yep. And it's all wood. Yep.
I mean, this when I saw this video last night, I was talking with Ryan Gregor in Ohio, and he goes, that's the reason that I built a monster in a box. I saw that video and I said, I have all of those things. And he's like, most of us built a monster in a box because of this.
Yeah.
I mean,
I still get comments on this about what I use. I'm like, really, man? Like, you can maybe do it different.
Do they even have this stuff anymore?
Oh no. No.
Do they even make corded drills?
Maybe not.
Right?
Look, here was an upgrade. Look, and now I painted it, and I put danger stay away, and I have my own remote now.
It did. And if you look real close, when he puts the thing up, it says MIA, monster in he forgot the B. MIA. And with remotes, they're always missing an action. So I guess.
Right. Yeah.
Awesome.
I actually think I still have that remote, to be honest. I'm pretty positive.
Probably, yeah.
And I think I gave this away. I ended up giving this to another haunter at some point.
Right.
Yeah.
So good.
I missed that thing, actually. That
right.
was
so. What is your favorite prop? Oh, I remember this one. What is your favorite prop? Like the best one, the most favorite one that you've built / like one that sticks out above all the others.
The one I love the most is my tombstone leering skeleton guy.
Yeah.
The one that goes like side to side like this,
Yes.
with the lantern. That was probably my very first one that I built. Was like probably my all-time favorite prop that I built.
Do you still have it?
No, I rebuilt one. But it's not the same, man. It just was so old over time. It just fell apart, like disintegrated. And then my shed that I have in my backyard now, currently where I live, some mice ate into the shed. We have just farmland behind us, and there's like a huge field with cattle in it. So there's like all these field mice and rodents and stuff behind us. And it got in there, man, and they chewed into the box of the thing where the mechanism is and literally made a giant nest in there. So the whole thing smelled like, piss and shit. So I threw it away. I had to throw it away. I think I cried a little bit.
Right.
It's okay. It lives on in the videos.
Right.
Yeah. That's what's cool. Like they really do. It's like an archive. It's so cool. It's like I guarantee you a ton of this footage I don't even have anymore. Like like 9,000 computers ago that's died or whatever.
Yeah.
If it ever
somebody
deleted
asked me
somehow,
the other
I think
day.
I'd probably be super sad.
Yeah. I had somebody ask me the other day if they had watched a video of mine that I used we made a Drag Me to Hell scene. And so I made a custom staticky scene on the TV, and it played through a DVD player because we didn't have MP3 players and DVD players, stuff like that before, and so I burned it right to it, and it played on this old ass, wood TV. And the person was like, well, I'm making a scene that I need a static thing for. Do you still have that by chance? And I was like, probably. And so I looked through it and I found it. And it was deep in the folders, but it was there. And I was like, I can't believe this. But it wasn't even a format that would work on anything today. Like, I had to find a program online to play the video on here. And I was like, man, I got to redo this whole video.
Yeah, I have videos like that. Oh my God, there's the Shrek. That's it right there.
Oh,
like, yeah. There it is.
Oh, there it is.
Shrek vampire.
That is awesome.
Oh,
so
Lord,
I got a question for you, Steve. Since you've been around through multiple generations of prop building, is there a component that you started with, or when you started haunting, that you would still use today versus like the new technology? Like, for instance, like, tape deck versus MP3. You know what I mean? Like, is there something you steadfast, you stay with? You're like, I'm not going to deviate from this because nothing's been better than what I've used back in the day.
Yeah, I would say the motion sensors. The hacked motion sensors. I still see those used even in a pro hunt. You know what I'm saying?
Like the 110, the ones you use.
The 110 where you, just the old school double light you put on the front of your garage, and then you'll screw a socket into one, and then when it trips, you have your prop plugged into one side, you can have audio plugged into the other, or however. And I still see people use those all the time. I still have a bunch that I use in my hunt now, and they just work like great. They never fail,
and they're cheap too. You can find them super cheap.
Yeah, I mean, they're waterproof because they're for outside. So I've had the things on in this rainstorm, and they're still kicking the prop off, and they're pretty foolproof. I still have that crank ghost.
I'm making my first one this year. I finally got the mechanism from somebody, and I'm actually I had it before Halloween last year, and I didn't have time to do it, so I'm actually going to make
one.
Now
it's top of the list now.
It is. Well, beside that and corpsing with my daughter. So we're
making your daughter.
Well. I mean, if she mouths off, then yeah, she will. Or if she does a crappy job at corpsing, then I will. Because we're making photo ops this year for our driveway, and so some of I need to corpse some skeletons. But the flying crank ghost will be kind of a cool one too that I can put up for somebody to take a picture in front of too. So.
Yeah,
I'm jealous that you've got all these videos, though, Steve. I don't have any videos of back in the day. We just didn't have the means to do it,
Well, and he was one of the first, when we say he was one of the first YouTubers to do Halloween, it was that, you would go and watch what he was doing, and when he made it, a lot of people still to this day go to his, YouTube pages to find the, once again, the jumping off point. Okay, so he did this. Okay, well, I can modify it this way, but I still like the way that it worked because the way he did it was so organic. It's almost like we try harder now to get something that he did so easy back then.
Well, see that cemetery arch that I just showed for a second? Carlin, the guy that I said quit haunting.
Yeah.
I gave that to him probably, I gave that thing to him 6 years ago, maybe 8 years ago. He has it. He's still been using it in his haunt every year. He just gave it back to me. I'm actually going to sell it at Texas Haunt Convention.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it still lights up. Like literally, it's got the same lights in it from, good Lord, 15 years ago. It's crazy.
I think that may have been where I got my idea to make a cemetery sign like that because mine has two pieces and it's put together in hanging over the yard just like that. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And we'll skip ahead here to 2016.
Look, I'm getting a little more creepy.
A little more creepy. Well, and this is when did you start figuring out to do a theme each year, and what was that process of figuring out what theme you wanted to do?
I guess out of boredom of doing just the same thing each year, and then that's where obviously when you do a theme, you gather more things, right? So it's like, oh, I'm gonna do pumpkins. Now I need to find like 100,000 pumpkins, and then the next year you're like, okay, well, where am I gonna put all these pumpkins? Because now I'm doing ghosts, and then you're like, okay, cool. So now I'm gonna do a whole section of pumpkins, and then the ghosts are gonna be everywhere, and then okay, now I have all these ghosts. Okay, this year I'm gonna do witch. So now I've got like 12 haunts worth of stuff, and it gets nuts. But I had a lot of fun doing the themes. I think now though it got to a point where I literally had no room for anything.
Right.
So like that witch right there, which is super cool, I actually got rid of that and gave that to another hunter. And I've given away a lot of my theme stuff, and now I pretty much only have cemetery stuff. So I'm gonna pretty much just do a cemetery theme from now on. But I'm gonna build props that I just because I love building, and then I'm gonna share those with whoever wants them, and whoever wants to buy them. I'm also gonna do kits. So let's say somebody still wants to build something. So I'm gonna sell these trick or treater ghosts. I'm gonna sell these puppet ghosts and some different things. But I'm not going to do them as completed props. I'm going to do completed props, but I'm also going to sell them as a kit for a way cheaper price for people that want to still also build it themselves. And I'll just source all the materials, right? Like somebody maybe doesn't want to buy a 60-pound roll of creepy cloth, right? Or what they call cheesecloth, actually, right? We know that creepy cloth is just cheesecloth, but you have to buy it in like this giant 60-pound roll. I actually bought a 100-yard roll. It's a 100-yard roll.
Wow.
And I'm cutting it into each ghost will come with for a 12 yards per ghost. And if you had to buy that on your own, right, it's going to cost more money. So the kits will actually save you money. Oh, here's my kitty. One of my kitties. Hey, Wolfie. Hey. Wolfie.
So let's talk a little bit about the company, Steve's Haunted Props. What do you decide is going to be the prop that you're going to sell? Like, is it what's most common out there, what people have asked you the most about, or what you love to build?
Probably what I love to build. I think I always gravitate to cemetery. It's just something I really love. I love the classic cemetery. I just love cemeteries, period. Like when I travel a lot for work. I literally go visit a cemetery in that city.
Yep.
Almost every time. Like I search for old cemeteries and hang out in them because they're just so beautiful and it's just awesome. It's peaceful. And there's just a cool history there, right? So I gravitate that way. So I'm gonna start out as just kind of like cemetery type stuff. Tombstones. I'm gonna bring a ton of blank tombstones that are carved in shapes already, but no epitaph. But I'm gonna already like embed the PVC pipe in it, so they're ready to to go over rebar. So I'm gonna do that part for you, and you just buy them as blanks. I don't know if that people are gonna want to buy that. Maybe I don't know.
I think so.
Yeah, and then maybe I'll make some full ones with epitaphs, possibly. But people still love making stuff, and I don't want to take that away. And I figure kits might be fun, right?
Yeah.
I even thought about it afterwards. I was like, crap, I should have like told them, hey, I'd run a make and take right at the convention because I'm making all these kits, and I could have done a make and take. So maybe next year I'll do a booth, and I'll also host maybe a make and take. I don't know.
There you go.
So
yeah.
That'd be fun. I'd have a blast.
Make and takes are fun. I like teaching and I like standing up in front of everybody and talking because I like to talk a little bit. Shocking. And the funniest part is I used to have a big fear of public speaking. Like I took speech and debate and I was in theater and stuff like that. And the one thing that really got me over it was reading books. And I actually, and you've probably noticed it on the show a few times, I do have a stutter. But reading to my kids actually helped me with that and doing haunt convention classes has actually helped me come out of that. But the make and takes is so cool because you can, everybody walks out of there with something that you helped them build in like an hour and a half. I do recommend fully do not drink a crap ton before and try to give a class at 10 a.m. hungover. You will drill through your hand like somebody did.
Oh no.
It hurt so bad. But I didn't know because I was drunk still. So it did.
Steve,
but everybody left. Everybody left with a working thing because I made a video and I made a super awesome how-to.
How many crank ghosts are we seeing here?
That is a lot.
Oh man, so this was one giant crank ghost rig.
Okay.
One. And so I had a pulley going to each major branch in the tree. And so as it went around, it would just go,
That's
each
awesome.
one would go up and down. This
I
was
love
the
that.
coolest thing ever. This was one of my favorite things, but I'm telling you, that thing was so finicky. I think I pretty much just hung out in the tree.
Fixing it all night.
To make that thing keep working.
Right.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So, Steve,
But yeah, that was fun.
Have you ever done a walkthrough haunt, or are you just a yard guy?
I have done a walkthrough. I have done a walkthrough hunt. The previous video with like from 2017, where it was like we were showing that weird cemetery art.
Was it
old
clowns?
cemetery art.
Do I feel like it was
I did
clowns?
it. My very first walkthrough was a clowns video, and I did my whole garage as a walkthrough. And I can't even remember what year that was, but
it was a long time ago. I remember watching it.
It was a huge hit, and
yeah.
So House of Torment is the haunt in Austin area. And I remember it was my first year doing the garage haunt, and my oldest daughter was in school, and she got a whole bunch of friends to come help, and my neighbor was really into it. And he got he had 3 teenagers. They got all their friends to help. I think I had probably like 23 haunt actors in my freaking regular sized 2-car garage. And it was amazing. I had kids running me out going, "Oh my God, it was like a little miniature House of Torment." And it was like,
yeah,
I made it, right? I'm like,
winning.
I made it.
Winning.
It's the pinnacle. And it was so funny. I actually sent one of my actors because the line was like forever long. And I'm just like, I was like, this is insane. Like I was getting nervous, like the police were going to come, and it was like total chaos. And I sent one of my hunt actors and said, "Oh my God, go to the back of the line and wait, and then time it and tell me how long it's taking people to get up here." It was like an hour and a half wait to get it. Hour and a half wait to get in my hunt, and people would just, I had to literally cut off the line at like 11 o'clock at night and be like, "Guys, I can't keep doing this." It was just nuts. And the reason why, there's another video this year for this haunt. I had a lot. The news came out, and they broadcast it on the news. And this was before I even opened. This is been waiting to get in.
Oh my God.
And I was like so nervous, like someone's gonna call the cops, right?
Oh my gosh.
And so I think I did it one more year after this, and then after that, I was like, all right, because it got even bigger the next year.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, this is too much, and it got unmanageable for me, by myself. And I'm like, all right, yeah, this is too much. So I cut back on the hunt part and just started doing yard again. So, but it was a blast. It was super awesome. I had, you can see like, there was kids, zombie girls in the yard, and like it was just nuts. I had this one guy that was a friend of the next door neighbor, and he was a high school kid, and he was huge. He was like this huge football player. He's like muscle, right, teenage kid, and he was like, I don't know, he's like a huge dude, like 6'7". He was huge, and he was wearing a dress, super tight. It didn't even fit him, and a clown face and a dress, and he was just freaking everybody out. It was. I had one kid that showed up with the knee pads and a chainsaw, and he literally, I'm like, you can't bring a chainsaw. He goes, no, I took the chain off, and like it's like this is awesome.
It's okay.
Do this.
I worked
he
in
was
House of
literally
Torment.
sliding. He was running, doing the slide, and like and scraping the ground and doing sparks. And I'm just like, this is so amazing. And after that, yeah, it was like, oh, okay, I can't keep doing this in the neighborhood. If I could have went pro around that time, I probably would have. But again, I was still active duty military,
Yep.
and then I think why I ended up stopping that was because I actually ended up changing jobs too, and that new job was so much more demanding. And there was just no way. There was just no way to do it. So.
I think you actually might have the first official video of a slider. By the way, I don't think I've ever seen a slider from this far back in the year.
Yeah, unless you go to like, Florida or California.
There it is, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it was funny too. I think back here, I don't know, you can't really see it in the yard, but I was doing the plastic corpsing back here at this time too. I actually have what is it? When Photo Bucket was out,
Yep.
still? Like when
Oh,
Photo
yeah.
Bucket was brand new. I actually have. I could probably go back and look and see what year, but I actually did a tutorial on plastic corpsing
Oh yeah.
back when Photo Bucket was a thing.
Does
And
Photo Bucket still
and then-
exist?
I think
Yeah.
it got bought out by like Flickr or Yahoo or something like that.
I had a
Yeah.
bunch of
Flickr?
stuff on there.
Is-
I hadn't heard of that word in
Yeah.
ages. You just
I had
brought
one
me
too.
back.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then Alan obviously did a video on it, and then he's like the godfather of plastic corpsing, and obviously everybody's done it before. Like everybody's done everything that anybody's ever done well before anybody's ever done it. I'm sure there's an inventor of it at some point, but a guy showed me how to do it. Like I didn't come up with it. Obviously, a guy had come to my house randomly, so we were having make and takes. This is really funny. So this guy, I saw his plastic corpsing, and so that's why I tried it. And I messaged him. I said, "Dude, we're having a make and take. You have got to come and show everybody in the TXFX group how to do this plastic corpsing. This is amazing. I can't believe how did you even come up with this?" And he's like, "I just thought of it one day, right?" So he thought of it originally, but obviously, again, somebody probably did it before him. So he doesn't show up at the make and take. I was so bummed out. I'm like, God dang it, man. And everyone's like, dude, you were going to show us this whole plastic corpsing thing. So anyway, we did our make and take. We ended up having fun. We made pneumatic barrel poppers.
Yep.
Or trash can trauma. There you go.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Back in the day, it was called trash can trauma.
Mm-hmm.
So on Sunday, I'm barbecuing. I'm at the house. Who's here on a Sunday? I go out there and the dude's got all his stuff. And he goes, "Dude, I'm so excited for today." I'm like, "Dude, it was yesterday."
Tell me you took advantage.
He thought it was on Sunday, and anyway, I invited him in. We ended up hanging out for hours, and we became friends. But it was funny. He like totally missed it.
That is awesome. That is awesome.
And this year, for your 21, you actually did you actually went back to the walkthrough again, didn't you?
Yeah, this is a small walkthrough behind the skeleton. It's just a pop out from the garage. Like you don't go in the garage. It's just a small little pop out in front. This is my wife. Right, this is Julie right here. She was so awesome. So
she's adorable. I mean, how could you not love that? I mean, that's
Well, it's cool. She was going, my candy. My candy. And the kids are like, okay, cool, lady. Like they were like scared, like, okay, fine. And she's like, no, it's mine. And then she would throw it at them. She would like throw candy at them. It was so great. Like the kids thought it was the funnest thing ever. And she stayed in character like literally the whole night. She wouldn't even come out of character for me. I was kind of getting annoyed a little bit. I'm like,
hey, that's a good actor. That's how we train ours.
She had her drink cup. It's like a metal Yeti, like the coffee looking metal Yetis with the handle with the lid.
Yep.
And when she would run out of like booze, she would like bang it on the thing. She was like, more. And then I'm like, oh, okay, yes. And I'd grab it, I'd run inside, make her another drink, and bring it out to her. I was like, all right, you're starting to get real annoying now. it was a good time. It was fun.
I just love seeing where you have some of your really old props and you've got them in your new setup, and just by changing the lighting or changing what's in front of them, it makes them almost 100% different, but yet they're still the prop you built 10 years ago, and it's just, I mean,
this dude is old, man.
Yeah.
This this Cauldron Creep, man, he is like, I have rebuilt this thing probably 10 times over the years. And it's still the original PVC frame. I mean, PVC is like magic.
Yeah, I know.
It lasts forever. So I've had the skeletons literally melt off of them before the PVC frame, and I'll just put a new skeleton on it. That I got at Target this last year. It was like an actual fogging pumpkin. It was super cool.
Oh yeah, the little they put a little mister in there with the.
They were really cooler than I imagined.
Right.
And here I'm upping my game with a little bit of Ghost Ride there.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Ghost Ride head and hands, and then I made the body just out of PVC pipe. I was thinking about making these moving graves as well as kids.
That's something that I've always wanted in my haunt, but I've never had the time, or like, I don't know. I look at it and I'm just like, yeah, I'll get to that, and then I don't.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Buy one in Texas. You can put it in your.
I will be there.
RV.
But see, the thing is, I'm going to be on the other side.
I know.
I'm on the other side of the convention hall from you, so I'm going to have to. I will send people over to you, and
yeah.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
So Steve, what's your plan this year? This October, are you gonna go bigger and better, or are you gonna kind of stay the same and build props?
What I've actually been doing lately, and I don't know if anyone even notices, which is what's really funny. And what I mean, no one notices, like the neighborhood, because to them each year it's awesome. They don't even know that I changed the theme. Honestly, like, you know what I'm saying? Like
I do.
Hunters, yes. Right. Like you guys, yes. But my neighborhood, I could do something completely, not even anywhere remotely the same as last year, and tell them, hey, what do you think's different? And they're like, what? It's the same, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And so what I've been doing is every other year. So I'll do really big with the little walkthrough, full on yard, other side of my driveway, like everything big. And then the following year, just a small yard display, no walkthrough. And it's nice because it's giving me a little bit of a break.
Yep.
Now that I'm building props, I might even just do the smaller yard display, right? That way I can focus on, the props, because, if I'm trying to grow that, then I should.
You only have so much time in a day.
Right.
Yeah, there is only so much time in the day. So, and then I could still have my passion of building things, and it's just what I love, and I love sharing my knowledge with people and helping someone else become a builder and a hunter. And it's just like, I think it's probably why this community is so great, is everybody loves to share and hang out and just create, man. There's no better feeling. It's awesome. So when you see somebody talk about, like, oh my God, like, I watched your channel and you motivated me to do my first yard haunt. It's like, oh my God, it's like, for real? Like,
right.
Like the fact that you influence somebody is like the best feeling ever.
Well, you got one of those right here. That's me. That's me. I've been watching you for a long time. And then when I got to meet him, I'm pretty sure it was the first time we actually ever met was last year at Texas. If we had met at MHC or something before, it probably was in passing quickly, but to actually like hang out with you and talk with you was last year. And that was like, that was
a dream come true.
Well, yeah. And the funny thing is, he noticed me.
Did you get his autograph, Troy?
Almost, but I bought. So he was walking around with this hat.
I don't have my hat on.
He was walking around with this hat, and I go, "Where did you get that hat?" And he's like, "Oh, I got it from Creepsville." And I was like, "Okay."
Yeah.
And then the next day, I'm like, how's it
I live across the country in Portland.
I'm like,
nobody will ever know.
This is my Steve hat. This is Pumpkin Steve.
I wear that hat almost every day. I'm actually I'm gonna have merch too, so I'll have
I was
like
gonna
the
say you better have
merch
merch.
link in bio.
Steve Haunted Yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I'm
Yeah, you
getting
better
one
have
of those.
merch.
This is
And
a
it has
pretty
to be
good
straight
hat.
brim too. You know, it's so funny. I had this conversation. This is not Halloween related. This is millennial versus Gen X related. Straight brims. I mean, Steve, you rock them. I love them, and I love them.
I can't pull it off.
My wife hates my straight brims.
I can't
And
pull it
she's
off.
like, "You
My
look like
kids
a lame."
hate.
I've
And
got
I
to bend
don't.
this a little bit. I gotta
can't.
bend it. I can't have it super
If you
straight.
got
He
straight,
has his
it's
fully
straight.
straight, and I
It's straight.
had to bend it a little bit.
Do you
Yeah.
get any grief for rocking a straight brim at your age?
No, I don't think people know I'm my age, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Eternally 28 forever.
when I tell them that I'm 48, they're like, "What?" Like,
Yep.
I don't know. I'm a kid at heart, so which is
It's the
why I
attitude.
love doing
It
what I
is.
do. Yeah.
It's the attitude, because whenever you have the energy, it translates to, it doesn't matter what you look like, you are young.
Well, look
You
at
know what I
somebody
mean?
like Ed Edmonds. You know, like you know, the other night I just watched his video where he did, where he was at Dick Van Dyke's house, and
Yeah.
Ed, I mean, he hasn't aged from where he's at now for years, but
No.
he's just like,
No.
I'm just so excited to be here, and he's so
Yeah.
bubbly all the time. You're like, I don't even
Yeah.
care how old that guy is. That guy is still in there making things with his hands, and it's and like you said,
Yeah.
it's the attitude.
Man, I'm telling you, you got to stay busy. Like, I think, in exercising your brain, right? Continuously learning new things, which is, as a haunter, you learn new things every day. Like, I see stuff literally on YouTube every day that I'm like, wow, there was a point where it was really weird. I don't know what happened to me, but there was a point where I stopped going to classes at conventions because I'm like, oh, I'm not going to learn anything. Like, I felt like
You feel like you know
I
it all.
knew a lot. I knew it all, and I don't know where that attitude came from because nobody ever knows it all. And then I was like, man, I really miss going to those. And I went to them, and I'm like, oh my god, there's
so much
I
more.
learn something every single time that I go to. And it's Dan, like you said, it's sometimes from the dude next to you, not even the person teaching the class.
Right.
And you make friends with someone that you didn't know before, and you're like, holy crap, like they know so much. And again, that's just what's so cool about it is you learn from so many people in the community because everybody's always good with sharing and everybody's just so cool about it. So
Sean said that he got to hang out with you during the Dark Hour tour.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that so you have a mold of your head in Dark Hour?
Yeah. Back when, I don't know if you guys, so I did a video, man, this was 2013. Alan used to do these, not really, I wouldn't call it a make and take. It was almost like a little mini
monster class
convention.
Yeah,
like a class, like a master class, like at it was at the time it was called like 1031. 1031. Man, I'm murdering what it was called.
It was before hot dogs. I remember what you're talking about. Yep.
Yeah. And he goes, "Hey, Steve," and this was back when I was doing my like daily videos, right? Back when I don't know what the hell I was doing. I don't even know how I did it. I don't even know how I did that shit.
I don't know how you did that either.
There's no
It
way
was
I did
awesome.
that shit, man.
I loved it. Consume that
So
content.
he goes, he's like, "Hey, how about I mold your head at the thing?" And I'm like, yes, because I'm like, Alan's God, right? Like, I'm like totally fanboying out, like without telling him. I'm like,
right,
I'm fanboying, right? And so, funny story. This is great. You talked about this because man, I don't know if I've ever told anybody about this. I've told people about this, but I don't know about on something like this. But so he's molding my head right out of alginate, right? So I'm in the chair and I'm actually really freaking nervous, right? Because they're gonna cover my whole freaking face, right? And he's like, so he's covering everything, and they leave a little space for you to breathe, right? And he's explaining that to the class, and obviously I can't see shit, right? My eyes are covered at this point. Everything's starting to be muffled because my ears are covered with alginate, and I could kind of hear him, and he's telling the crowd, now you constantly need to talk with your actor, like, are you okay? And so they can, he's like, tap your hand one time if everything's good, right? and give them instructions so you know they can still breathe. He goes, and then if at any point they can't breathe, right? I need, have them tap like 3 times real fast on the right
Oh,
leg or whatever. I shit you not, right when he said that, my nose hole plugged up.
oh my
And I
God.
patted my leg pretty fast. And he goes, yeah, like that. So, and then he goes,
Man.
and so make sure you're after. And I'm like, and I kept doing it. He goes, oh no. And then he had to sweep my nose. Um, and then we ended up finishing. But when he pulled the thing off, it like molded all the way up in my nose. Like the alginate was all the way up in my nose, and there was 2 big plugs in
That
the
sounds
mold all the way up my nose.
terrifying. Oh my
It was
God.
it was scary. And there I am. And so that mold is still in Dark Hour, and I guess they use it to sculpt on or do molds with at some
Oh my
point.
God, that's
And
awesome.
That's cool.
he goes, you know what? I need to actually use this and put it in the haunt somewhere. I was like, oh my God, you totally have to put my head in the
Yeah.
Dark Hour. So yeah,
That
but
is
every
awesome.
time I get a chance to go to that tour, if you go to Texas Haunters and you have an opportunity to go to the Dark Hour to see it backstage,
Yes.
oh my God, do it.
It's
I
one of
mean,
the best
it is
haunts I've ever been to.
it is a top notch. Your mind will be blown.
Yep.
It's one of those haunts where you have to go. I mean, you have to go see it. It's amazing.
And this year he's they've taken out the asylum and they're making one long haunt. So it's going to be almost 30 minutes long.
Holy
and
shit.
So we're going to see some of it, but when we get there in July, we'll be able to see some of it, probably most of it done, but it probably won't be all the way done. But shameless plug for myself. See, if you go to Texas Haunters in July, you get to see it behind the scenes. And then in October, you can come back to Dallas and go on the Texas Terror Tour and see it with all the actors.
Nice.
And all of your
is Texas Territories going to do any backstage or anything like that?
No, because of the time, because the night we're going to Dark Hour, we're doing Dark Hour and Cutting Edge, and Cutting Edge is one of the world's longest haunted houses. So we're doing that in one night, and so it's going to be Dark Hour first, and then we're skating right over to it. And that's kind of what it was not by design, but we're basically telling people, if you want to see Dark Hour, behind the scenes, go to the Texas Haunters convention, because you can see it there for $50. You're going to see 2 haunts for that. And then you can come back on and do it on our tour.
Have you ever seen the VIP room?
Yeah.
For sponsors?
I have.
At Dark Hour?
Yeah, I have. I've been
I
in
don't
there.
know.
Yes.
He didn't take us in
That's
there last
amazing.
time.
You can scare people.
It wasn't part of the tour last year.
Okay.
It is, Dan, is that not the coolest thing?
It is the coolest thing. That's when I say it's one of the best haunts I've ever been to, like all around, from the prop room to the mask making area to the costume to the VIP room to the stage. Like, it is just phenomenal. Like it is a haunter's dream. Anybody that's going to Texas Haunter has to go to that show because it's amazing. And the VIP is so badass. I didn't get to do, because we went.
You have that scare spot.
Yeah, the scare spot. You can actually, as a person, a VIP person, you go in there, they give you a spot where you can scare people.
That's so
in the haunt. It's like it's built into the haunt. So a part of that one wall that runs along there runs along the side of the haunt. And Alan built in a scare. So if you're in there, you can scare people while you're in the VIP.
You have like a scrim, but you're in like an AC room with like hors d'oeuvres, drinks,
and a screen and tables.
And you're like, you know what? I'm going to take a second to go over here and scare the shit out of somebody. And then you go over there and you kind of flip this light and you're like, behind the scrim, and then you turn it back off and then you go eat some more snacks. It's like, I was like, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yes.
It's for, I was like, wow.
That and the bathrooms are the best bathrooms I've ever been to in a haunted house.
Yep.
They're by far the best bathrooms I've ever been to in a haunted house.
It's crazy.
You're welcome, Alan, because I plugged that one.
Right. So we've gotten to the point of the show.
Oh, I didn't want this to end.
I know. But we will start with you are going to be over. Let's see. You are over
Well, this
here.
is Texas Haunters for those that aren't paying attention.
Yeah, sorry. This is the Texas Haunters Convention in July. You will be displaying your props and your very cool facade over here on the very, very far right side of the
by the bathroom
hall. So you enter here and you walk over here. You walk by Bill Bornder, who was also on our show a couple weeks ago, Mind Trap Creations. You can walk by him
I
and
feel like
say hi.
everybody from this
Whatever.
show is going to be everybody
right?
from this convention is going to be on this show. That is not by design.
No, it actually wasn't.
I think that's Troy's. I think that's Troy's plan.
I knew that Bill was going to be there. I did not know that Steve was going to be there. And then right next to them is Goth Bloom Prop Works, which is another amazing.
Are they going to be on the show this year?
No, they're not.
Oh,
I'll save them for next year.
Save them.
I'll save them for Texas Part 2. The Texas Hour Part 2.
I think we need a spin-off show. It's just a spin-off show of Texas Haunters because
this is going to be one of the coolest rows because you've got, and you have Dark Stitches over here too. So you have Dark Stitches
I love me some
and you've got Massage by Calvin. So when you're done getting freaked out by all their stuff, you can go get a massage. But yeah, you've got Goth Bloom and you've got Steve's Front Yard. Over here, you got Texas Terror Tours.
Who the hell let the massage guy in? Seriously? That's like the footwear guy or the bath fitters.
No, we know what it really is.
There is no bath fitter here. There's no bath fitter.
It's not massage. It's happy endings.
Ah, no wonder the Haunters let him in.
That's why.
Right. Big haunt shirts over there. But, over here is where you have Texas Terror Tours. And we're right next to Dark Hour. And then also Rollin Pickens is over here. So it's gonna be a lot of crazy stuff going on at this show. Okay. So if you're gonna be in Dallas in July, come by and see all of us except for Dan and Susie.
I really want to go to this show.
I know you do. I know you do. This is if you do not subscribe. See, I mean that's a pretty good subscriber count. 11,000. Yeah. That's pretty big. It needs to be a lot more. So all of you watching, if you're not a subscriber,
he's got to start making more videos. I mean, he doesn't have enough.
Yeah, that too. But 11,000, that's good. That's good. So it's Steve's Haunted Yard on YouTube, and there are a ton of videos.
900.
You have
900 almost.
That is bonkers.
900 videos.
800
all Halloween.
I was going to say 800 of them were done in like a year.
Right. But if you ever wanted to find a jumping off point of something you wanted to build, and you want to make it not like all this over the top electronic stuff, start here and then modify from there. Just even from the above ground tombstones, the electric chair, all these things. Some of these things are very simple to build. The trash can trauma is one of. That's a haunt staple.
That's a basic, yeah. That's a 101 right there.
Yeah. So check this out if you're. It's like every Thursday night. Just go on to Steve's Haunted Yard and watch 10 videos. It's good. It's good times. You also can go over to his new Facebook business page, Steve's Haunted Yard 365. It says seasonal, but it's all year round.
Yeah.
So you can check out as he gets going with the props he wants to buy, build for you and stuff. You can check that out. Also, he will have the
What's this main social media page that everybody can follow you on? What's the one that you fall back on first, Steve?
Again, I know we talked pre-show a little bit.
But if you had to pick one.
What I do for my regular job with the military is social media, so I'm horrible with my own. So honestly, YouTube is probably what I do the most. And then I would say probably Facebook.
Okay.
So, but I don't post a whole lot of social media. I'm gonna try to do a better schedule on social media to start sharing stuff. I don't even share my YouTube videos. Like a lot of people will do a YouTube video and then they'll share it to social media. I'm horrible. I never even share them. I need to probably share them more on some other platforms just to kind of put it out there. But
and there are programs that you can download and basically go along and you can link it all to it. And once you upload it to one, it will push it to all of them, so you can say, I wanted to go to this Facebook page, this YouTube, this Instagram, and Vimeo, whatever. And it just goes for you with all the right tags and all that kind of stuff, so that
I use Hootsuite and a bunch of stuff like that at work. I just haven't done it on my own for personal stuff. I'm just horrible at it. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I would say most of the people that I know who you are and thoroughly have enjoyed your videos. And for myself, as well as all the other haunters out there that got their start from you or got inspired by you, I would like to personally thank you for all that you've done for us and for your service to the country as well.
appreciate it.
Thank you, Steve. Steve,
Glad
one more thing. One more thing before we leave. How can people find you to purchase your props again?
StevesHauntedProps.com is the website, is the webpage. And then you can't actually buy on the website. There's a link to my Etsy store on there at the top, right there where it says make a purchase on Etsy. You just click that link and it'll take you to the Etsy store. That's the best way. And then I have some other stuff on here, some digital downloads, and then some merch. And like I'm gonna start adding some props. I put a skull on there a couple weeks ago, and it sold like in a day. And I haven't put another one.
Sorry.
That one. It sold as soon as I put it on there. And which is crazy. I put $50 on it, and someone bought it like in a day.
Awesome.
I just corpsed it. I actually did it a couple of years ago. I was like, I'm gonna see if this stuff will sell, and I put it on there. Like immediately sold. And I just haven't had time to put another one on there.
That's awesome.
Someone from New York bought it. It was super cool. I was like, wow, that's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, he bought it. He bought it on my birthday. Well, he reviewed it on my birthday.
Yeah, it's cool. Just about once a day, someone keeps favoriting my puppet ghost. The puppet ghost prop there. It gets favorited like once a day right now. So I'm like, wow, that thing's gathering some traction, which is really cool.
That's super cool.
I didn't come up with it. It's not obviously it's not an original thing. There's a YouTube channel, and the guy deserves way more subscribers. I mean, he barely has any views. Like, I mean, I think somebody watched his video like 100 times, and it's like the coolest video on this puppet ghost. And then he saw it from a forum. Like, he didn't even make it. Again, it's that whole sharing thing, right?
Yep.
Right.
I have not made a video on how to make it yet, but that's coming because I've got to make like 10 more to bring to Texas Haunters.
That's
so I'm going to do a video.
You need to make more than 10, Steve.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna do 10 completed ones and 10 kits. And then 10 of those ghosts, and then 10 kits. And then I don't know how many tombstones. Right now, I think I have 20 blanks, but I haven't done the PVC or carved them or anything yet. So I've got a lot to do before now and then.
Right.
And the ghost that I'm making, this one was horrible. That's the one I used for my yard, and I'm like, oh, it's so dumb looking. That one is so much cooler. I kind of did the eyes a lot cooler and made the body pretty sturdy, and actually has a solid wooden base. Like, it's built really well. And it breaks down real small. I like added couplers so you can break it down smaller than what you normally would. And I'll also, so the prices that you see on the website at the show, they'll be a better price than that. I'm going to do a discounted price because the website price, it's also going to include shipping, right? And shipping's insane right now.
Oh, right.
So at the show, since you can pick it up, it'll be a better price than what you see on here. So.
Steve's Haunted Yard selling props. Never thought I'd see the day.
I know,
This
right?
is awesome. This is awesome. Great night, Steve. Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. But before we leave, Troy, what's happening next week?
Who's going to be on next week? We're going to leave Texas. Finally. The train's going to move on.
I'm sure we're coming back.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We are. On July 12th, we have another Texas. He notified me the other day. He was like, are
you promoting just in the Texas Haunters Facebook page? Is that
I'm going off of some of it. I'm going off of the who submitted to the Home Haunter Awards. I'm getting a lot of that from that because they send me all the videos, and I watched 190 videos in January and February. And so I'm like, I need to, that's is that a Dead with Dave award?
This was the Haunters Video Awards.
Oh yes, the Home Haunter DVD collection. Yes.
Hold on.
You should have a Dead with Dave award too.
Dude's got
third place in 2010 for the Home Haunters Association.
Okay.
Award.
Okay.
And then my Dead with Dave, which is super heavy because it's made out of like solid steel.
Right.
My Dead with Dave.
Yeah.
2012 Best Home Hunts.
Yeah.
This one is a murder weapon. Like,
right?
Bludgeon somebody with that.
It's billet steel. Like the whole thing, solid metal. It's freaking phenomenal that he made this.
That's so cool.
Super cool.
You are award winning for sure. But yes, we have and this one I did find, well, I've been following these guys for a long time too. We are going to have Matt and Aaron from Brooklyn Fright Nights. The company is Dark Hollow Productions, but the name of their haunt is Brooklyn Fright Nights. And they build their haunt all the way through their house in Brooklyn, New York.
Cool.
One of them lives in Boston, one of them lives in New York, and they go through the house and in the basement and out the side. It is super, super cool. I'm gonna have to get audio of one of them on here, because one of the phrases that Aaron says is one of the coolest phrases I've ever heard in a home haunt. And like to this day, I still watch it every once in a while, and I'm just like, man, that's so cool. It's just the way they did the video and the way he said it. I'm like, man, that's so cool. So I'm gonna get that on there.
Oh, you've hooked me, my friend. I can't wait.
I'll be there.
You will be here.
You will, because we're gonna make you.
Yes. So next Tuesday, Brooklyn Fright Nights, Dark Hollow Productions will be on.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Steve, again for coming on. Appreciate it. I didn't want this night to end, but it's got to end at some point in time.
It was fun. It was a blast.
Yeah,
agreed. We will see everybody next week, 8:00 Tuesday night, Central Standard Time, 9:00 Eastern. Everybody have a good night. Stay
Good night.
Good night, guys. Thanks. Get your haunt on.
That's right.